right? The first step in creating a video is to create new. Click on create new. Now these are different aspect ratios. These are different aspect ratios of the videos, and they all have their functions. They all have their functions. All right, these aspect ratios have their functions. All right, so in the next videos coming up, in the package, I'm going to explain what this different aspect ratio means. This different aspect ratio, you see, we have the 9:16, 16:9, 1:1, 4:3, and the rest. So I'm going to explain what each of them mean, but basically we're going to get started with the 16:9. That is the most common one used for a landscape video. All right, that's a common one used for a landscape video. All right, those YouTube videos you see, and the rest. So first of all, we just click on the 16:9. Click on the aspect ratio you want, then you click on next up here. When you click on next, you are going to see access to your gallery. Your gallery is going to appear here. You can see your gallery is going to appear here. Things you have in your gallery are going to appear here. All right, now the next thing you're gonna do, first of all, before we start selecting images or anything or videos existing in our gallery, let me first take you through the walk of how the timeline works and the canvas works. So the first thing we're going to do, we're just going to select a plain background, right? A plain background. To get that, you click on images here. You click on images and you can see different backgrounds here. You have the plain black, white, hash, and the rest stylish background. So we're just basically going to go with the white background. You click on it and you can see it has appeared at this bottom part of your screen. It has appeared on this bottom part of your screen. Now, I'm going to explain all these functions you are seeing here on the screen. I'm going to explain each and every one of them, so pay attention closely. All right, so there's a this is the background here which we just added. You can see it. I clicked on it now. This is the background we just added. Now this white space you are seeing here, this white space here, which is the big screen here, that is what you call the canvas. That is our canvas. That is where we are everything we are editing is going to be showing on. That's where we are going to be able to see everything we are editing, everything we are doing. That's where it's going to appear on. All right, so that's called the canvas. All right, then this part below here, which has this red marker line and the duration, is called the timeline of the video. Right, everything we are adding to the video is going to be showing on this bottom part, and this is where we are going to see how the main flow of the video is, which is our canvas. All right, so note this again, where this red marker is, this bottom part of the screen is called the timeline of the video. Then this blank screen, all right, this big screen right here is our canvas, where everything we are adding to our timeline is going to appear on. All right, so that's the first step. Now let me just take you through these buttons on the right hand side here. These buttons on the right hand side here. So the first thing we have there is media. We have media on the first part there. So when you click on media, it takes you back to that place we are just coming from, where we selected the background from. So when you click on media, you have access to your gallery again and everything there. All right, so you can just click this back button here at this top right hand corner, or let's click media again. You can just click this X here, cancel. All right, now there's another thing you should note when it comes to this media part. When you click on it again, if you want only pictures to appear here, for somebody like me that has a bulky gallery, I have a lot of things in my gallery. If I want just to just see images alone, I don't want the videos to be showing here, because I'm looking for a particular image and I don't want to be scrolling through videos and images. I want just images. You just click on this icon here. You can see it here. You click on this icon here, click on it, then you can see this is the picture icon, right? This is the picture and video icon together. So it means that pictures and videos are showing right now. So if I click on this first one, it's going to show, you can see it reloaded and it shows me only pictures now. Remember, you can enter each of these places here. You can enter each of them. All right, you can enter each of them. So I'm just showing you the navigation on the run through. So you click on this, only images, only the images in my gallery appear now, only the images. All right, so now if I click on it again, I want only videos, I click the third one. You see, only the videos in my gallery have appeared here, only the videos in my gallery. All right. So if I want both of them, I just click on images and videos together. So that's the first thing. Now, when you are adding a media file, it's going to appear at this top part of the screen, right? This top part of your timeline. Your media file is basically like a background. All right. So let me do something. Let me add a media file right now. Let me add, let's say, a picture or something. All right. So let me just click on let me click on this story saver. Let me click on my story saver folder, then select this one. So you can see it just got added here. You can see it got added here at this just immediately after this one. If I want to move it to come before this white background, I just simply hold it, drag it to the left, and it's going to come in front of the white background. You see that? If I want to take it back, I can just go back like that. And that's basically for the media. Now, another thing you should notice, the color, right? The color of this. If you select a plain background, you can always select any color you want for it. So like I selected white. Let's say, okay, I want to change it to red now. Just click on this color box here. You can see this color box here. Let me do it again. This box, I can just select red. You see, there are varieties of colors, a lot of colors here to choose from. So I say I want red, and you can see it has changed into a red it has changed into a red background now. So you can always customize the color. This is video editing. Every single thing is customizable. Everything is customizable. It's left for you to get creative to do anything you are doing. All right, so that's about that one. All right, so if I want to change the color back, if I want to undo what I just did, you go to this left hand side here. You can see this part. You can see this arrow that is pointing back. Well, that's an undo. So if I click on it, it's going to change back to white. So you can see the other arrow going forward. That is to redo. So let's say I want to redo it. I want to put the red color again, or I want to redo the action I just undid or undone. All right, I just click on that and it goes back to red. So I can undo it or I can redo it. So you can do that for any single thing when you're editing. It depends on what you are doing. So let me just undo it right now. Let's stick with the white for now. All right, so I've shown you how to use that undo and redo button. I've shown you how to change your color. The next thing I'm going to show you how to do is this scissor sign. So you can see this scissor sign here. Sorry, that's Clip Graphics. You can see this scissor sign. You're going to be making use of that a lot. Now, this scissor sign is basically to trim and to cut, to trim or to cut. So for instance, let's say this I want to trim this. I want to make this white background end here at this point where the red pointer is. I'm just going to click on the white background on my timeline. Then I'm going to click on the scissors. Now you can see 4 different options here. The first one is trim to left of playhead. If I select trim to left of playhead, the whole left side here is going to be trimmed off, and the video is going to start from where this red line is. All right, but if I select trim to right of playhead, this whole ending part after this red marker is going to go off, and the video is going to end where the red marker is right now. So I hope you understand that. Trim to left or trim to right. Then the next one we have is the split at playhead. Split at playhead. All right, split at playhead. Now this one is if I want to separate this what's it called, if I want to separate any of my media files or any of my files into two. All right, I want to separate it, I want to divide it into two. All right, so that they become independent on their own. I'm going to do practicals on that so you see it. All right, so split and insert freeze frame, you're mostly not going to be using that a lot, but as we go on, if the need arises, I'm going to show you what exactly that does. All right, so let's practicalize the trim to left of playhead now. So I click on trim to left. You can see what just happened. Let me undo it. Undo. Watch it carefully again. I move it here. I want the whole left side to go off from this white place. Click trim to left and you can see it's off. It's off right now. So let me undo it and trim to right now. Trim to right, you can see the right side has gone off. All right, so you can watch this again so you can understand what I just did. Let me go back again. Now let me split at playhead, which is to divide it. All right, so let me just divide it right now. Split at playhead. You can see it has turned into two different stuff. You can see it. Here's one, here's the second one. So that's two different things right now. Two different things right now. All right, so let me just undo that again, and it turns back into one stuff. All right, so basically the next thing we are going to do, I've shown you how to use that scissors pattern. The next thing there is called the clip graphics. The clip graphics, I'm going to do a whole video on that one, so you don't have to worry about that. The next thing is color filter, adjustment, vignette, information. So those ones are going to have videos dedicated to them separately in this course, right? There are videos dedicated to those in this course. So as you keep on watching the tutorials, you're going to get to parts that I touched all those independently. All right, so um after that, let's go over to the left hand side again. Sorry about that. You can see we have the delete button here. We have the trash bin there. In case you want to delete anything, all right, you just tap on what you want to delete. If it's this one I want to delete, I just tap on it and I click on delete. It goes out. I can undo that. If it's a white background I want to delete, I just click on delete and it goes out. All right, as easy as that. There is nothing complex there. So let me practice the trimming on this one again, right? You remember I did it just on the white background. So let me practice the trimming on this one. So click on the trimming. Let's say I want it to, remember this is just at the starting, so I can't trim it to the left or the right or even split it because the marker is still at the starting of the video. I have to move it into the stuff a little bit or to where I want. So let's say I want to trim it to left, trim. You can see it has trimmed. Undo it. If I want to trim it to right, move it, trim. The same thing, just the same pattern. You can do this for anything. All right? So split at playhead, you can see it has turned into two different um, um, files on my timeline. All right, so remember this big screen here is your canvas. This is your canvas for where you see everything that you have added to your timeline. This bottom part is your timeline. This is where every single thing you're adding to your video will be showing. This is where you can tap on them to edit them or customize them. Then this top place, the big screen, is your canvas. Right, your canvas where you are seeing everything like a preview of what you are doing. All right, so let me undo this split at playhead again. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna cover is this. Let me click on this again. Now you notice something on this left hand side. You can see the options you have here: undo, redo. You can see this bracket option, that setting sign, and these other two. So notice something. When I click on those, settings are showing there, those icons are showing there because I did not click on anything on my timeline. Nothing is highlighted or selected on my timeline. All right, nothing is highlighted, nothing is selected on my timeline. All right, so if I want to highlight something, watch how the icons are going to change. For example, I want to click on the white background and make an edit. So click on it. You can see the icons here have changed. You can see that, all right, it has given me the options that are available for this media which I just selected in my timeline. All right, so let me undo that again. You can see the icons have changed again. So that is basically it. So I've already shown you how this undo, redo, and the delete button works. Now this other one, which you can see this arrow upwards and downwards, that's basically to show your timeline in a full or a more flexible, organized view. So as we are going on in editing, you are going to see the need to use this sometimes because, for example, let's say you are editing something very large, you have added a lot of things on your timeline, and when you're editing some videos, a lot of things are going to be added to your timeline and everything. In fact, let me show you an example of that. Let me show you a quick example of that. So let me go back. Let me show you a quick example of that. Let me see all my projects. I'm going to show you a quick example of something that has a lot of timelines. All right, so let me see this one. Let me see this one. All right, so you can see this. You can see this, right? You can see it has a lot of things. You can see my timeline, right? A lot of things have been added to my timeline here. Can you see this? A lot of things. So if I want to view this very organized, like it's too bulky here, I'd have to be scrolling up to look at everything. You can simply just click on this arrow upwards and downwards like this, and you'll be able to see everything on your timeline properly. Can you see what I just did on your timeline properly? So you get to get a full view. This gives you a full view of your timeline instead of a full view of your canvas. Note that you are still seeing your canvas here. You can move it all around. You can move it here. You are still seeing your canvas, but it has made your timeline on the major screen now and your canvas smaller, so you can have flexibility of editing your timeline. Can you see that? So that is an example of what I'm talking about. All right, so back to what we're doing here. That is a function of that button. So all right, then this one is basically to take you is like a time snap. All right, it just takes you to each start point of each file. You can see this. So let's say if I have another file, let me click on media again. Let me add maybe a black. It's just going to take me to the start and end point of each of them. Let's say I don't want to scroll and go through the stress of all that. Just click on it. It takes you to the exact starting of the next one. It takes you to the end point. It takes you again to the end point. So that's basically the function of that key. Now, there's something else I haven't showed you on this left hand side when you click on something on your timeline, when you want to edit something on your timeline, and that is I click on it. That is these three dots at this top here. You can see it, these three dots. Click on it. You are going to be offered two options. And those options are duplicate and duplicate as layer. All right. So I'm going to explain what a layer means. Also. So first of all, duplicate. To duplicate this now means if I press duplicate, this white will be duplicated and I will have another white background again. So let me just duplicate it. You can see we now have two whites here, two white backgrounds because I duplicated it. Let me go back, undo it, click on it again. Let me do it again. Duplicate, so you can see it. All right, you can do that for any of your files, any of your media files above there on your timeline. All right, so you can see that. Undo it. All right, then basically let's cover layer. We have covered what media, the media aspect is all about. This media aspect, we've covered it. All right, so that's basically where you add pictures or videos from. Now note, you can add pictures or videos here on this. When you click on this media, any picture or video you add will be added to this top part of your timeline. All right, where these other three medias are. So you can add any video or any image there. All right, you are not limited to do anything. So the next thing we are going to go for is layer. Or even before we go for layer, let's first of all do this one. Before we go for layer, let's take on these options. So these are the options I told you about when you didn't highlight anything on your timeline on this left hand side here. All right, so this one, which looks like a bracket, is basically to take a snapshot. Sorry about that. Click on it. You can see we have three options: capture and save, capture and add as a clip, or capture and add as layer. All right, so let me show you what these three things mean. For instance, I do this a lot sometimes when I'm editing. Let's say I want to take a picture of what is on my canvas like this. I want to have it as a picture in my phone. All right, rather than holding my phone and screenshotting it here, I can just click here like this. Sorry, click on the bracket side. Note, you don't have to highlight what you want to screenshot or what you want to save the picture. Just move your timeline towards that part. Then you click on, oh, sorry about that. Click on the bracket, then you click capture and save, and you see it has been captured. Current frame has been captured, and it's going to be available to you in your gallery. All right, so you'd have what is on your canvas now on your gallery. Let me show you that in my media. Let me show you. You can see this capture. You can see this. It's a picture already in my gallery now. You can see that. So let me just delete that. So basically, you can either capture it and just save it to your gallery if you just want the image of what is on your canvas, or you can capture it and add it as a clip. All right, when you capture it and add it as a clip, it's going to appear at the top of your timeline also. Sorry about that. Capture and add as clip, so you can see it captured, then it added it here. Let me do it again so you can see. Capture and add as clip, is going to appear at the top also. So you can see it automatically added here. You can see this two now. It's automatically added here. So there are just different ways to duplicate something. All right. So you can also use that as a form of duplication. All right, if you want. So let me delete that one. Now the last one is to capture and add as layer. Now remember that we got the option of duplicate as layer up here also. Now I've not touched anything about layer. I'm going to do that as the video goes on, as the introductory video goes on. You're definitely going to know about layer. All right, so just relax. So I'm not going to touch anything about that layer right now. So this capture and add as layer, I'm going to leave it right now because I have not explained what a layer means on your timeline. All right. So I believe I've been able to explain all this. I've explained all the features here, all the icons here. I've explained all that. I've explained the scissors. Okay, this is a rotate. This is a rotate and mirroring. Basically, you just rotate what is there. There's nothing difficult about that. All right, you can either switch it like this, switch it back, switch it like this. So that's a basic rotate stuff. You might not be needing that most of the time. So I've explained what is here. Color filter. As we go on, I'm going to do a video on color filter and adjustment also. But just know that those things are about colors, color filter for what is on your canvas and everything. All right, so this button here, when you click on a here's what you have to understand. A plain background has different options. When you click on it, a plain background has different options on this right hand side here. These are the options available for a plain background. You can change the color, you can use the trim cut option, and you can add a clip graphics to it. All right, while a file, which is going to be a video or a picture, if you add a video or a picture to your media here, if you add a video or a picture, the options are different. There are two different options that are going to be added here, which is this first one, which is called the pan and zoom. You can see this one with this arrow. It's called the pan and zoom feature. I'm going to do a whole video dedicated on that also. All right, so this next one is the rotate, which I just showed you how to use. So for simple backgrounds or for plain backgrounds, which is selected, plain color backgrounds, you can't pan and zoom it. All right, there is no pan and zoom feature for that, and there is no rotate because it's just a plain background. But if you add an image or a video on your timeline through the media option here, if you use the media option here and you add a video or an image, you are going to be offered the option to pan and zoom it, which is this one, or to rotate also. All right, so you have to take note of that very importantly. Now going to this left side again, I think there are still, we haven't touched this settings icon here, this settings icon. All right, so there is the function of this settings icon. You can achieve this from your home page of the kinemaster app when you enter the app, or you can access it from here also. So for example, let's say I click on this now, you're going to see different settings. This is audio. You can see audio here. This is the audio. These are the settings available for audio. Auto master volume. You can either set auto volume for the project, right, which I don't advise you to do. That. So basically all these settings, you would necessarily not need them. These top ones, this auto master volume, project master volume, I don't use those settings, not necessary. But you're gonna make use of this one, audio fade in and audio fade out. So you see those videos that at the start of the video the audio is a bit faint, then as the video is playing the audio starts increasing in sound. This is the feature for it. Audio fade in, this is at the start of the project, and audio fade out, those videos that you see that as the video is coming to an end, the audio dies down, or fades out. This is the feature for it. So if you want to make use of this, you just basically tap on this 2 times, right? Let me do it again. You tap on this once or twice, any one that your phone allows, once or twice, and it's going to on. So when it on, you can set the duration. So if you want it to turn on in 0.20 seconds, this is 0.20 seconds, that's not up to 1 second. All right. So basically, it's for fadings, you can basically stay around 1 second, 1.50 seconds, or like 2 or 3 seconds. So you just set it to whatever you want. So but it will definitely be around, for audio fading, definitely be around 1 to 3 seconds or something like that. All right, it shouldn't be more than that normally for most of the videos. All right, so you can off that back. Or audio fade out, you can also tap on it once or twice and it's going to turn on. All right, then you can set, if you want the audio to fade out 2 seconds before the video ends, you just set it here at 2 seconds, and when it plays to 2 seconds before the video ends, the audio will just start fading out by itself. All right, you can also adjust this amount of seconds you want for that, where you want it to start fading out. Everything is customizable, so I'm going to turn that off. Now the next thing is video settings. Here, click on video. So you can also do video fade in and video fade out. Video fade in and video fade out, it's basically the way the audio fade in and audio fade out works. If you want your video to fade in, you just set it here and you select the duration, the same process. The next thing is editing. All right, so this is photo duration, photo display mode. You necessarily don't need to set anything here. You necessarily don't need to set anything here. All right, except maybe you have a photo duration, you have a photo that you're adding on your timeline, and this is the default maximum duration that your photo can be on your timeline, 4.5 seconds. That's the maximum duration by default here. So let's say you want a photo to maybe to be able to last longer than 4.5 seconds in your timeline. You just come here and increase the maximum seconds to whatever you want. All right, but you definitely won't be needing this. I haven't used this in my years of even editing. All right, because I haven't seen the need yet. Okay, so I assure you, you might not even be using this. So I just covered the audio, video, and the editing settings. You go back, click on the X sign. So we have covered everything on this left hand side. We've covered everything on the left hand side. We've covered all the options here. All right, we've covered all the options there. And the next thing we're going to be looking at is this layer option. This layer option, very important, this layer option. All right, so we're going to be looking at the layer option right now.